Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Boots and Bounty Homestead. I'm bringing you this video because I told you I would go through it with you, and this is about fermenting the chicken feed that we created a couple weeks ago. So we have decided to go ahead and start fermenting our feed. So far the chickens are loving it. I will put a disclaimer in here stating that after doing some research, once we were informed that the lentils are poisonous to chickens. Okay, I wanted to clarify that if they are dry. So this is one of the ways that we are going to ensure that we don't harm our chickens. So we are actually going to ferment them. So with the lentils, you either have to sprout them or cook them, or you can ferment them, and that way it's no longer poisonous to your chickens. Now in the last video we didn't use a whole lot of lentils. There has been no harm to our chickens, don't worry. I think it's one of those things where they have to have a lot of it to cause them any harm. So we are not at that point, so don't worry about that. But I did want to share that since that is some new information. Since we did bring you that chicken feed, it's online. You could do your own research and find out all the information you want to. So we're going to dig into fermenting the chicken feed that we created. I'll put a link back to the video for the chicken feed that we made, and then we're going to hop into this. So here I've got 3 different containers, and I did start this about 4 days ago. So I did a poll on the YouTube community page about probably a month ago, and I asked you guys what, for the ones of you that were fermenting your own chicken feed, what would be a fast starter for the fermentation process? And the options were sourdough starter, apple cider vinegar, or kombucha, or other, if there was something else that you would think would pertain to that particular topic. And most everybody said sourdough starter, which I was kind of amazed. So I did my own little experiment here and with the chickens to see which one actually did better and what the chickens like better. Of course, chickens are loving it all, so it didn't really matter to them. But in this one, I've done a sourdough starter, which I only used about a 1/4 cup to this whole gallon to get it started. In this one, I did apple cider vinegar, and in this one, I've done nothing. So this one has been sitting for 2 days. This one has been sitting for 2 days, and then I started this one yesterday. And it was because of this experimentation of how these two got to be on the same day. But as we rotate them out, that's going to soon change. So I'll actually have 3 days going at once. Now, you can do your own research and find on YouTube where a lot of people use like 5-gallon buckets or 3-gallon buckets or something like that. We are not at that point at this time, just because our chickens are only eating 1 scoop of this a day. And this gallon ice cream bucket is enough for 1 scoop at the time. Right now as we're making this. So I'm just doing these ice cream buckets. They are inside the house because it's still 50 to 60 outside most days. And I want to go ahead and get this going. So it's we keep it right above 70 in here, and the fermentation is doing super well. So I want to bring you in here and show you how we are putting all this together and what it's looking like. Alright guys, this is the sourdough starter bucket. It has been sitting here for 2 days. And I want you to look right here. Now this is actually, it's not mold. White is right, black is bad. Okay, so this is white. And what this is a buildup of yeast that has fermented on top. Just like whenever you ferment vegetables, it can get that film across the top, and that's what it has done here. Now you can either take this off or you can leave it. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix everything together. You can see lots of bubbles are coming up and popping. So we're just going to take this and stir it up. And this is what we're actually going to feed our chickens today. The water in the sourdough, is cloudy because of the dough that we mixed into it. But you can see nice bubbles are coming up. So this is very well fermented. All the corn is done plump back up. It's looking really good. Now when you do start doing this, the sunflower seeds do tend to float because of the air in the seeds. So just make sure that you do keep it stirred. And this is all I do. Now this one is the apple cider vinegar. Look at those bubbles. See the little bubbles coming up? Alright, let's go ahead and stir this up. Woo, look at them bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. I love it. And this is only 2 days old. I'm going to let this sit for 3 days because once it stops bubbling, the fermentation process is done. So it's still bubbling a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and let this sit for tomorrow's feed. But there's the apple cider vinegar. And then let's look at the plain water one. Let's see, I can smell it. This one's only been sitting for about 24 hours. There is some bubble action going on, so that's good. Woo, look at the bubbles. Wow. Nice. Not bad for just water after 24 hours. Just make sure you keep it all under the water. Nice. Okay. Now, an easier way that you can mix these is actually dumping it from one container to another. So you would have a fourth container that you would go ahead and dump your last one in. So like for, this is tomorrow's, this is in 2 days. You would dump this one into another one. You would dump this one into this one. You would dump this one into this one. And then you would start a new batch. If that makes any sense. But the one that's ready to be fed is what we're fixing to strain out. And I will show you how I do it. Instead of, you know, having to dump it from container to container to container, I will go ahead and strain this out. And then we're actually going to start a new batch together. And I'll show you what that looks like before and after. So my tools are another ice cream bucket and a strainer. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to strain this liquid off of here into my new bucket. And that's how I'm going to start my new batch. And then whatever we get out of here is what's going to be fed to the chickens today. So I'm going to use a canning scoop to go ahead and scoop this out and put it in here. Okay, so we've made our feed for the day, which is be this whole gallon bucket. And I strained it out, so we are going to reuse this, and that's going to be the start for our next third day. So this will be day one. This will start from today and be our feed in 3 days. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you the difference real quick in what it looks like. Alright, so I've got a scoop of feed. This is what I call a scoop. This is our scoop that we use here. I've got a scoop of our feed that we made. And what I'm going to do is pour it in here. Now, I also want you to see the difference in the amounts that this makes. So, we're just going to pour this in here. Okay, let's stir this one up. And you will see that a lot of this is floating. So if I push it down, it goes down about halfway. So if you ferment your feed, you're at least going to double the amount that you have to use. And that's going to fill your animals and your chickens up twice as fast. So you only have to use about half as much. Now, since we fermented, this one right here is going to actually be split in half and is going to feed both sets of our chickens. We do have them both outside now, and they are all on the same feed. So as I was telling you earlier, the sunflower seeds are going to float. Now I also want you to keep in mind tomorrow when you go to stir this or pour this into the next container, however your method is, you will need to add a little bit of water, or you can go ahead and fill it up now. I'm just going to wait and put the water in tomorrow, just as I see it needs it. So we're going to take this out and feed our chickens, and this will set for day 3. So what I do is I'm going to put a top on this that keeps all the little critters out. This is going to be my feed tomorrow, so I'll move it over to the outside. And then this one is the next day's feed, so I'm going to put it there. And then this one will go in day 3 spot. So there we have the next 3 days of food that is prepping and getting ready to be used. Well guys, this is how we are going about fermenting our food. If you see anything that I'm doing wrong, if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments, because we are here to learn with you guys. This is the first time I've ever fermented chicken feed or any kind of feed. So I'm right there at the beginning of all this with most of you. If you've been doing this for a while, let me know how we're doing. Let me know things to look for. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. Anything, whatever. Just let me know so I can fix my mistakes and we can all learn together. So these are actually going to go outside, like I said, to the chickens. It's going to be half the reds and half the chicks. Now our chicks are like 3 months old. They are getting to be in that teenager range. So they are really enjoying this feed and the scratch that we give them. There hasn't been any kind of issues that we've noticed. Everybody's doing good and they're happy. So we're going to keep doing what we're doing unless you guys tell us that we need to do something different, just for the safety of our chickens. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and feed our chickens. I hope this encourages you guys to do this as well. You can research fermentation and you can look at all the processes and the different bacterias, and you can get super scientific about it. But basically you're making a probiotic for the bellies of your animals. And this is really good gut health for them, as well as fermenting your own food. It's super great, super great. Check into this for doing it for your animals, for their gut health and keeping them healthy and their immune system's great. And yeah, let me know if we need to change anything, or if you do this at home and what do you do differently. So until next time guys, we'll see you later. Bye. Good morning, everybody. Good Hello. Hi. As you can see, it doesn't take them long to fill up. They are ready to go for the day. Already pecking and scratching and getting the day ready. Let's go check out our babies over here. Hi, Tux. Hey, Tux man. See, the babies love it.